Welcome to When Culture Calls, where three worlds have collided. We're bringing girl talk to the main stage while flipping culture on its head with our passionate point of views. You're dialed into deep connections and necessary conversations. Whenever I need someone to call on, I know I got my girls.
Hi everyone, welcome to When Culture Calls. My name is Endeshia.
I'm Kalifa.
And I'm Amara.
And we thank you for joining us today. If you're new here or returning, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. Stay tuned with us. And I'm actually excited for today's topic. Even though both of them are not I'm excited because I really need to know if it's just me or if other people kind of going through the same thing. So I have two topics, but I'm going to start with something that I'm actually been trying to learn more about myself when I'm not feeling my best. How does that, how do I cope with that? How does that translate into the real world, right? So right now, I feel like through the pandemic, a lot of people have gone through financial struggles or whatever the case may be. And I feel like I'm working on a path to be debt free, and I will be debt free the ending of January. So I'm very excited about that. So exactly, you don't understand. I'm very excited. So with my job, because I'm in sales, I get commission. So there's always a base pay, then there's commission. Some months are way better than other months, but no matter what, I always consistently pay off my debt. But there's gonna be sometimes it's harder than others to have money to actually work with. So I realized about myself that when I am more restricted for whatever reason, I want to spend more. And when I am doing good, when there is literally money in the bank, and I see it accumulate, I see it building, I'm like, oh, I don't really need nothing right now. I feel like I don't really need that right now. I like how the bank looking. I like how it's looking. So I was questioning myself the other day because I've been itching to buy things because this month wasn't a really great month sales wise for me. So I was just like, damn, my commission check is low, but for some reason I'm having these urges to shop and to shop and to shop, and it made me think. I'm like, I know that I can be an emotional shopper, and I know that, that's not always a positive thing. And I want to know well, before I ask y'all the question, right? I kind of correlated I got this type of enlightenment because I heard a conversation where people were talking, and then we were discussing men and how they just they're just out there having sex, and just people who are very promiscuous, or just that's their zhuzh. It's do they do that because they're feeling low and they need to self-soothe? Because a man who's really on his purpose and is doing well and is building, I don't feel like it's just spreading his seed thin, right? And I had to think about myself. I'm like, why when I don't have, I feel like I need something to, I guess, kind of make me feel better. I'm like, oh, is that what I am experiencing? So I wanted to pose the question to you guys. Is there anything, any habits that you may have noticed within yourself that when you're not feeling good, you do something to make you feel good, even though it might not be the best thing that you should be doing? Is that a thing for you guys? Because I'm struggling. I need to know I'm not alone.
Girl, when I'm stressed out, I be like, I can eat this. Let's go. It's a stress. It's a trigger. You're triggered, for sure. So to answer your question, I'm gonna leave it at that because I have a lot of thoughts, but I'm gonna just leave it at.
Okay.
I be like, ooh, I could go. I want to either spend money and cook, or I don't really want to eat out now, but before it used to be it would definitely be food. I had to learn that I am an emotional eater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm a shopper.
What did you say?
I said this feels like one of them AA meetings. I'm an emotional shopper. He's an emotional eater.
I don't know if y'all ever saw that movie Shopaholic. That's one of my movies. I love it. But definitely, I love thrifting, and I it's really a guilty pleasure. And the reason why I think I love thrifting so much is because I tell myself it's not really shopping. So I definitely thrift, and eating as well for me. I just be like, fuck it, I only live once, right? So
I'm gonna say I am an emotional eater, but if I'm triggered emotionally in terms of stress, I actually I add more stuff on my plate. So like I will enroll into school. Like after this, I'll go and be like, I'm getting a master's degree. Like
I like to be busy when you're stressed.
yeah, like, I will get another job. Oh, y'all don't know, but I'm like, I always get another job.
You think you the only one work hard? I got 9 jobs myself, you know.
For what? I don't know, but I will get a job, work it for 2 months, and then be like, girl, why'd you do that? Like that's my crazy. So to answer your question, although I am an emotional either, before that, I have like, I guess like this obsession with like being my best self. So it's like I will add more things on my plate.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm in therapy. Don't worry, guys. You guys,
well, that was
time.
I was like, wow, that's a lot. I was just thinking, like, do you guys just accept that is the state, like that's the person that you are, or are there things that you're doing to kind of curb that like self-soothing aspect after not like feeling good? Is it something that you're intentionally trying to work on, or you're just like, listen, I'm an emotional eater, I'm an emotional shopper, and this is just who I am. It's part of my personality.
Yeah, I think at the stage I am in, where I just want more, healthiness across the board. It's something that I'm face to face with. So, like I said, even though I might be an emotional eater, I'm eating out far less because I want to like get a new baseline, or like we talked about it in one of the other episodes where I put a lot of things on my plate. I had to come to terms with the help of therapy that actually I'm to capacity, and I didn't have the verbiage, I didn't have the know-how without the tools that I got through therapy. But I'm at the stage where I'm like, okay, this is not okay. You can't degree yourself out. You can't corporate ladder yourself out, and definitely you can't eat yourself to 600-pound life. So you gotta chill.
Yeah, I would say for me, I don't think I'm putting any any rules or regulations on myself when it comes to these things. Oh, actually, I'm telling a lie. So when it comes to eating, yes, because I feel like I have to be intentional with what I eat. Obviously, because they say you are what you eat or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I have slipped with that. But when it comes to eating, but when it comes to shopping, no, I don't think I have a problem, and maybe that's what a shopaholic would say, but I really don't think I have a problem, and I shouldn't be comparing myself to others. But when I think of my mother and her shopping habit, or when I think of other women, I'm like, I'm really not even buying anything. So I don't tell myself that I have a problem, but if I get to the point where I feel like, all right, you going over budget, you're out of budget, then I'm like, okay, you got to work on that this week or this month. But as far as like making it a lifetime thing, I be telling myself, girl, you abundant, you got money, so
period. So
even if I know the bank account ain't looking the way I want it to, that's still like a thought in my head. I don't want to limit myself because of, as long as I'm not causing debt on myself. But yeah, I don't have that.
Well, that's good to know. I feel good. I feel better knowing that I'm not alone. I really do, honestly, because it's been something that's been on my mind. I'm like, girl, like, what is really wrong with you? And Amara, just total sidebar. I just went to an estate sale. I don't know if you know what this is. I haven't thrifted in so long, but I went to an estate sale this past Friday, and I bought 2 purses. I'm gonna show you the purses. It's actually right behind this camera. Okay, hold on.
I was driving down my street.
They were kind of cute. It's this bag.
Oh my god, I love
$40. This, first of all, this lady, you don't understand. Like, I wanted to fight one of them little ladies in there. I'm not gonna hold you. And this is the second bag. It's just
that's cute,
really cute.
Yes.
So I don't know if you heard of an estate sale. I came across it on TikTok, and it's a big thing where people, if they're moving, selling their houses, sometimes people have passed, they sell the things that their family has owned. And I was just like, oh, I want to go to one of these. I went, snagged those 2 purses, almost fought a lady for taking another purse. I was trying to be patient and respectful. There was a lady standing in front of me shopping, this little old lady. She was in front of this bookcase. I was patiently waiting behind her to grab this little bag. And here comes this other little palm looking lady. grabs the bag out one time, and I was just like, I know you motherfucker lie.
Do you guys have you guys heard of Scarlett? It's this is like a side note, but this is based off of what Endeshia is saying. Have y'all ever heard of Scarlett? She's a new rapper, and she got that song.
Yeah.
I think it's like back the F up.
Yeah.
That. Girl, when I hear that song, I immediately think about the thrift store. I'm like, it goes down in the thrift shop. Like it's worse than in the actual department stores. You do not, because we know like it's unique pieces. Do not play with me.
No,
I was like,
both of y'all.
I'm surrounded by these people, these little white little old ladies. I'm like, okay, let me give her space. I don't want to invade her space. And then here comes this next lady, just like jumping the line. But that was that. I hope you guys enjoyed the first topic. I'm going to deal with my shopping stuff. I only did 2 bags. I had like 4 in my hand. I put 2 back, so I rationalized and you don't need it. So that was good. What happened, Kalifa?
So, is the first brown bag like is that like cow leather or like what is it?
Yes, it is, and I'm in love with it.
I
so
love it.
Much.
I love
$40.
it.
I feel like I see you wearing that.
Yeah, it's really adorable. I'm just like, oh, this is good. Like, this is really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did have one more question, right? This is something, okay, I need to know your opinion on this, right? So I'm going to ask you guys a question I'm going to lay out a scenario to you guys about something that, happened in my relationship. I'm not going to let you know who is who in this situation, but I want to get you guys' idea and feedback on the situation. All right. So let's say you are the person who has a gripe with something, right? So you get irritated when you are eating something and you're down to the last bit of it, and your partner comes and wants to experience what you're eating and takes it and enjoys it, and it's the last. This is the key word. It is the last bit and you're enjoying it in the moment. It's in the fridge and you just missed your mark. It's the last of something and you're enjoying it in the moment, and your partner takes this thing. It happens once, you make a joke about it, you don't care. It happens on another occasion, you're annoyed, but you're like, it's your partner, whatever. Now this is just a habit, and it's just a habit that annoys you. It annoys you badly, I guess, right? How do you think that it is wrong in this situation? Like, do you believe that, it's the last, you should just give it to the person? Or do you believe that you should be able to set a boundary or whatever the case may be, and the person should respect it in a relationship setting? This may seem so small, but it was a big thing. And I need to know your feedback on what's your thoughts about that.
I want to know, I got to say person A and person B for me to understand it. So is person A ever sharing with person B?
Person A opens the box, and the first thing is, do you want some? The person is a sharer.
Well, we definitely know who person A is. Let's just keep it a buck.
Okay, so if person A is always sharing with person B, and person B always chooses at the last drop to ask for some,
you gonna eat your cornbread?
No, you're creating a habit that it's not aligned with me. I need to eat my food when I want to eat it, how I want to eat it, where, and you're getting in the way of that. No, it's a problem.
Cause I'm from New York City, goddammit. Nobody take no cornbread from me. And that go for you and any other you motherfucking farmers want to try some shit.
Yeah, I would agree it's a problem because I am person B.
You're the taker of last. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm the taker of food that person A don't want me to have. Like, it's like my food, and I'm like, well, and so I've done that, and it's triggered person A in my life for and they let flat out like they let me know, like, don't do that, like, do not do that. And so I'm more mindful. So like for instance, like steak is something that my husband loves. So like if it's steak related, I won't go and take the last pieces of steak. I will leave it to him. Even if I want it, I will leave it to him because I know it's gonna piss him off to know that, oh, I went to sleep and she was like, she couldn't wait until the next morning. So I don't do it anymore. So I think it's valid. I don't know. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, I don't know how important it is in the relationship, but I know that it's come up for me, and I've been person B. And I think that person A rights to be like, don't do that. Like, be considerate. It's just about being considerate.
Okay, so this is actually good. I'm glad that you're person B, and Amara, I'm glad that you're person A. I'm person A, clearly, because I'll be pissed off. When it comes to my snacks, I don't mind sharing. I will literally, anytime I open anything, it's like, do you want some? Do you want some? Do you want? But if I'm enjoying the last bit of something and you pull up like, oh, let me try that. And like a lot of things that I eat and I enjoy, my person hasn't tried. Like, so it's new to him. So if he comes around and he takes it, it's just like, oh my gosh, I really love this. And he has a feeling that like I should be okay with him taking the last, right? And this may seem like a very small thing, but the type of person that my boyfriend, he is, and it's one of the things I really like about him. He likes to like conceptualize everything. If you do this here, how does it manifest and translate into bigger things? So he's just like, oh, well, if you wouldn't give me a last and it's a piece of food, how does that translate into a marriage when we're talking about finances and we're talking about whatever the case may be? And it's just like, if you wouldn't give me your last, and I understand what he is saying, right? But it's frustrating to me because to know me is to know that I'm a giver and I'm a sharer. Like I'm not a selfish person. I'm not at all. And to know me is that if we are in a tough position, I will pull my weight. But he feels like, well, if you had $1,000 and you was spending $1,000, you would share 1,000, but you get down to 5 and you can't give me your 5, it's a problem. And a part of me is like, if I had a band and I'm giving to you and I'm down to my last 5 that I want and or need, I must give it to you.
So you okay, you gotta go a little deeper. So was it literally the example of the $1,000 that you guys discussed?
No. The example was the food. That was actually the example. That has been a reoccurring thing. But he has taken this example, like the way he translated to me was just like, okay, well, in the future, if we married and like we got, we going through hard times, like how do I know that I can lean on you when like you're at your wit's end? And I'm just like, well, I know that I will be there. I know this, but I also don't fully understand the idea. Like if I have $3 in my pocket and I need it and or want it, I must give you I must give you my last because we are now in a relationship. Like I get it, but at the same time, it's kind of like not we did self-development, but in the past we talked about self-preservation. It's like, is that or like what? Like I don't know.
So okay,
I'm
gonna speak from on this show. We often speak from personal experiences, and I will say, and so crazy, this is good. I like where he took it, and I like that he correlated the two, although they're not the
same.
They're not the same, but it is good. It's deep. He's going deep. I like that.
Good morning, babe. What up, baby?
I do think that it could come up. I do think that in a way you use the money, the $1,000, but I'm glad you used it because you go from I to we. And I think we talked about that before, that in relationships, you gotta
You mean we go from we? No. Oh yeah, I to we. Sorry, you got it right.
So in a relationship, again, this is not pertaining to you, but in general, like in a relationship, you have to know when you go from I to we, because you just said if I'm down to my last $3, well, when is it the we? We're down to our last $3. And I'm gonna use an example. Tabitha Brown, which you may know, the vegan food enthusiast, mother to all. She said when she has been asked a number of times on different shows, you're the breadwinner, front-facing breadwinner, because she says she retired her husband. How does money work? What's the money conversation like? And she says, that's our money. When we were broke together, when I had a regular job, it was one bank account we had. When I have this big platform and all of these millions, it's our money. We withdraw. We have access. It's not an I thing. And for me being married, that was just insightful to hear, like, okay, this is what other married women and men, how they structure their finances. So I think that finances aside, whatever aside, you have to be, when you're not married and you are partnered and you are seriously committed, you have to identify when it goes from my 1,000 to our 1,000. So you have to really like talk about those intricate things. So do I think like food automatically correlates exactly to money? No, but it really could come up where he's saying, this could happen. So, but I would give a suggestion on the food thing. If you know that he has the habit, and you said you do share and you're known to share, you could also take a little scoop out and say, I know he about to come with his at the end. I'm already, we ain't even got to go through this no more, because I'm going to just put a little to the side and I'm going to do my thing. And it's like, when he come, I'm there you go. I was already thinking about you. I think that could be a compromise, that I would put on it.
Like that.
Because you said it happened 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11 times. So, those are one of those that you just like, oh, this is a quick solution. But I'm gonna give it to your guy. He made you go deep. And did you fight against that? Like, do you feel like, is your argument this doesn't even correlate, or are you really trying to understand where he's going with it?
So initially, because when we had this conversation, we were just come back from a club, we were lit, and I don't know why, but this shit was on my mind, and I was like, I need to get this off my chest, right? So I feel like because it was a heated conversation, we were both inebriated. Not that we were like yelling at each other, but it was a heated conversation, and I feel like I wasn't trying to hear him, and he wasn't trying to hear me, because he's just like, and also he's just like, yo, it's food, like we're not about to argue about food, and I get that. And a part of me feels like a little stupid, but that's just how I feel. That's always how I've been growing up. I'm like, I guess it's like a sibling thing. Like, if I had the last, like, don't touch my last. Like, that's just, that I think it's part of my personality at this point. Do not touch my last. Like, you see me, you know that you ain't bought this. It's in the fridge. It's mine. It's mine. But I understand where he's coming from now. We had another conversation because he brought it up again, and he was just like, no, like, we're going to talk about this, like, as we are both okay, because I want to know if this is actually going to be an issue in our relationship moving forward. And I'm just like, damn, why can't I just be annoyed about something and express my annoyance without it like being, not that it was made a big thing, because he came to me the second time, we had a really great conversation, but like, why can't I express my annoyances about something without in your head it's like tying to something that may be a bigger thing, which I get because it's smart. That's how you're supposed to vet people. That's how you're supposed to like understand how this is going to manifest into other things in the future. But not everything correlates that way. That was just my argument. Like, this is not going to correlate to money, because like, you already know how I am with money. Like, this, we've never had a money issue. That's just never been an issue. We're literally talking about food right now. Like, and I feel like that's why it's stupid, because we're talking about food, but at the same time, I'm just like, it's so stupid why you're mad. Like, why are you mad that I'm annoyed that you're taking a lesson of what
I've done that before. I really hate to be tickled. I don't even understand what the hell is a tickle and why we have that feeling when people tickle us, but I hate to be tickled. And that was something that I like stressed to my ex on a consistent basis. Don't tickle me. Don't tickle me. Now, sometimes you depending on the person you dating, you might be dating a big kid and they like to joke around a lot, but that was my boundary. Like, don't tickle me. And I think the last time he tickled me, I went off. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I was annoyed, and he was like, "Well, this is not that big of a deal. I don't understand if this is how you're acting now in this moment when bigger things arise. How are you gonna act?" I'm like, "No. First and foremost, we're gonna deal with one issue at a time. This is the issue at hand." And I've spoken to you several times about it. I don't like that. This is my boundary. If you cross that boundary, now to me, with your same logic, to me, I have to start thinking about, well, what about our future when you cross boundaries that I've expressed to you that I don't like? So I think it is something that is a bigger picture on both ends. And I think that habits I think it's like the third time I mentioned habits, but habits are really, really important. So I think that while it is about food, it's still a little bit bigger.
Yeah, that was good. That was good how you said, up, it's not just me. So if this means this for me, what does it mean for you? So I love that. I would say that I recently said this the other day when I said, something this manifests in this way. And Amara, you told me that's not fair to say that, but how it just came up. You're not saying like, oh, this is what you're doing, but you're saying like this is a trigger. So I'm gonna put something on everyone's radar, a show that I think could be helpful. Because I'm in therapy, but I'm in cognitive behavioral therapy where we talk about the here and the now and tools going forward. But there's something that I didn't know. Is this show on Amazon Prime? Hey Tamara, she gave me her. She put me onto it. So it's called Couples Therapy, and it's a psychoanalyst. And what a psychoanalyst does is they go deep. They go to the past. They go to the triggers. They go to the why. They go to the no, but what is this conversation? I hear you say it's food, but what does that mean to you? And I would like to say that this is all of that. Like how it is like the psycho point of view. And I also say that this is mindful to everyone about how you process information. How I process information is always the why. I'm a why person. Some people are not, and they are a how person. You're like, how does this even connect? This is not. He's like, why? You're like, how? You guys process information differently. And I think that no matter what, whether you're talking about a child or a dog or water or a bill, you guys are not processing the information the same. So you guys take the space. Now, he did bring it back up, but that's cool and that's great. And you guys had a resolution. I just think people out there, none of this is wrong. This is literally human behavior. And I think that conversations like this is so helpful. And it's crazy how like I was watching the show. It's really good. Like I said, Couples Therapy, Amazon Prime. It really kind of brings this all together where somebody can be. Oh, Amara, I wanted to ask you. Sorry, ADHD going off in my head. Why? I'm gonna go in my little fake psychoanalyst bag. Why? I know it's a boundary, which you have to respect boundaries, but why do you know why tickling is a trigger for you? Like, do you know? Like,
personally, because I just don't like how it makes me feel.
Yeah.
But I know if you go to therapy, they would be like, so what does that mean? Did you feel something like this in childhood? Like, is it something like they?
I think that's the one most thing that makes me feel out of control.
See, how would he know? How would you know? And I think that that's a beautiful conversation that you like. You're having the conversation like, I told you don't touch me and tickle me like this. This is my boundary. I'm right. I already set the tone, and he's like, I can respect your boundary, but like it's a tickle, like tickle, like, and no one's actually saying, actually, I feel out of control, and I like to feel in control of my XYZ. So we just had therapy, like.
We damn sure that this was actually good.
It was.
My boyfriend watches these, so I'm interested. After he watches this episode, so we'll see.
For sure.
But I definitely thank you, ladies. I appreciate it. Does anyone have any last words, advice, suggestion about something like this? This is really good.
It was.
We're good. Okay.
My last takeaway is never what it seems, and I think that everyone could benefit from lack of offense. If we take ego and offense out of it, we can start to hear one another, whether we agree or it takes us, maybe it might take you 30 days to be like, you know what? I understand. That's fine. That's your flow. That's your process. And I also want to give a resource. There's something that I told you ladies that I recently took, which is a DIS assessment, DIS assessment. If you guys ever have the opportunity, or maybe your companies, like who you're employed by, maybe they might offer it. A lot of people in leadership take it. It kind of tells you who you are in your natural state, and then who you are when you're being like, when you feel like pressure or you're being observed, and how that changes. And there's like a scale, and like a lot of different identities that come out about you. I think that's also helpful just to know who you're dealing with, how they process information, what space makes them, the most comfortable with, things like that. So that's like a resource I'll put out there.
That's awesome. To definitely watch the show Couples Therapy on Prime, and also look into the DISC assessment. I appreciate you ladies. I really enjoyed this conversation. Everybody watching, thank you for tapping in with When Culture Calls. My name is Endeshia.
I'm Kalifa.
And I'm Amara.
And we hope that you subscribe, and we hope to see you in all of our other social media platforms. Bye, guys.